All right, welcome everyone to Canyon City Planning Commission, Wednesday, November 28th, 2018. I now call this meeting to order. Would you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Denise, please call roll.
Good evening. Chairman Maloney,
Here.
Commissioner Clark, Commissioner Harmon,
Here.
Commissioner Ledoux,
Here.
Commissioner Brandon Smith,
Here.
Commissioner Randy Smith,
Here.
and Commissioner Clark is excused.
Okay, thank you. Now I ask for approval of the minutes from the October 24th, 2018 Planning Commission meeting. Are there any corrections? Okay, so I need a motion and a second to approve the minutes, please.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we accept approve the minutes of October 24th, 2018.
Thank you,
Second.
Commissioner Harmon. Thank you, Commissioner Smith. Denise, please call roll.
Commissioner Harmon,
Aye.
Commissioner Smith, Brandon
Aye.
Smith. Chairman Maloney,
Aye.
Commissioner Ledoux,
Aye.
and Commissioner Randy Smith.
Aye.
All right, thank you. Item number 4, we have a public hearing. Ordinance amending section 17.20.130 of the Canyon City Municipal Code concerning mobile home and/or construction trailers being used as sales centers for residential housing. Patrick, are you, well, let me open the public hearing first. The provisions of the City Municipal Code, and in particular Title 17 thereof, the subdivision regulations, and the comprehensive plan of the City of Canyon City are incorporated into the record of the hearing as if set forth verbatim. Do we have a staff report?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This evening, we are here to consider the matter of an amendment to Section 17.20.130 of the Canyon City Municipal Code. This as it pertains to the placement of mobile homes or construction trailers in residential areas. Currently, the city code does not allow construction trailers or mobile home in any residential area unless it's zoned MH1 or MH2. Recently, staff received a request by one of the builders that's currently active in the 4 Mile Ranch development to put in a construction trailer which could be used as a temporary sales trailer out there, and because the way the code is written right now, we had to deny that request. But at the same time, we considered it something of an oversight, since in a lot of commercial and industrial projects, locating a construction trailer is not a particularly big deal, generally happens all the time. In the case of, in particular, 4 Mile Ranch, what we have is sort of a finite number of lots, and there's no one master developer that's building all of them, so there's not really an opportunity for show homes, the model homes for construction. So we thought it would be a good idea to make an amendment to the ordinance that would potentially allow for mobile homes or construction trailers in there, subject to a couple of specific provisions that the ordinance comes with. First of all, this is only applicable to zones that have a PDD or a PUD zoning on them. The reason for that is, at the moment, those are the areas where we're most likely to see an enormous amount of residential growth in the future, and therefore a need for this sort of thing. Number 2, they can't be built on a lot for more than 24 months, or if the particular lot goes under construction with a permanent home, they have to be moved immediately off of the lot. The third one is they must meet all applicable building codes for the construction trailer or mobile home. And then the fourth condition is that any construction trailer or mobile home must be applied for through a building permit with a site plan attached, so that as our review of that, we can confirm that they are still meeting setbacks associated with that particular lot. So with that in mind, staff is recommending that Planning Commission conduct this public hearing. Hopefully you'll recommend approval to council, and if so, this will be going to council in early January.
Okay.
And that would conclude my presentation. I'm happy to answer any questions that the Planning Commission may have.
Any questions?
I guess I have one. The thing about me is continuity and consistency. And one thing that I see an intention in this is that and I'll read it out, it is also the intent to limit the effect of this modification to only those residential areas likely to experience growth pressures, namely the large PDD and PUD.
Correct.
Is there a definition of that, so somebody in the city, in the inspector's office, or issuing permits, has a guideline to go on to determine what is considered large? Because that's where the inconsistency comes in and where the city can lose a little
So-
reputation because somebody's making their own determination, and you know where I'm going.
Yes. So there are two safeguards in that. First of all, PDD, or Planned Development District, and PUD, or Planned Unit Development District, these are two defined zone districts within our code. So they are clearly there and expressed as to what the intent of those zone districts is and what the permitted uses and how they will function. That is all very clearly stated in the code. The second provision comes into play when we talk about the fact that anyone who wants to do one of these sales trailers, a construction trailer or mobile home, would still have to apply for a building permit. The reason for that is any building permit that's coming in for any kind of a placement of a structure, whether it's vertical construction or something that's simply being placed on the lot, has to be signed off by the city planner that it conforms to the zoning. And if it doesn't, if they're trying to do this in a zone district other than a PDD or PUD for a temporary basis, then that would be stopped. The permit would be denied.
And I didn't go back and read the PUD and PDD, but there is definition in there to determine what is considered large and what is not considered large. I mean,
Yes, sir.
all right, I just don't want people making their own determinations, and then the city gets a black eye all over again. You know, black and white is probably better, in my thinking, in this documentation than gray areas. But, all right.
I have one question, please. You mentioned 4 Mile and the ability for a multitude of contractors to build. Do we have a limit on some of these sales trailers? I mean, might there be 1, 2, 10 out there, or?
We are not putting a numerical limit. I mean, at this point, it would only be limited by the number of available lots there would be to put them on. And within the 2 filings that we have active in 4 Mile Ranch right now, I think there's a total of something like maybe 50 lots available.
Okay.
Several of them, we've got at least 8 lots under construction at the moment, and that obviously doesn't count the number of homes that are already built and in place right now.
Okay, so in effect, we do not have a limit to how many sales trailers we
Not a
could have,
numerical limit, no.
but there's probably not going to be that many.
Right now, the reason this is coming up is because there is a fractured ownership. The master developer for 4 Mile Ranch owns some. The banks that took over when the original home builders that were active out there back in the day have a few others. They have sold some of them off. So you've got some individual home builders, you've got the master developer, you've got the banks who are trying to encourage others in. So this is something of a unique situation. My guess is that if someone comes in to build and maybe they have 4 lots that they've acquired, they're only really going to need a sales trailer on one of those lots because they've got 3 more they can market.
Right, okay.
Do you know how many developers we have up there right now?
There are at least 3. I would have to check to give you an exact number.
Number 3, under section D here, such structure shall meet all necessary building code requirements. Are you going to make these guys that put sales trailers out there have them permanently affixed to the ground?
No. We're going to require that they be located in such a way that they are anchored to the ground somehow. That does not necessarily mean a permanent anchoring on a concrete slab, and in fact, I don't believe they'd want that.
No, that's why I'm asking. It seems that would be overkill, so. And in the past, at 4 Mile, when there was a certain national builder that had come out there for a short period of time, they had sales trailers out there, and I don't remember this coming up, but I wasn't on planning then, and you weren't here. So they probably just pulled the trailer out there and didn't ask permission, I'm guessing.
In some cases, it's easier to ask for forgiveness than permission, I guess.
Right. Okay. Any comments from the audience? Kidding.
If we do, that'd be interesting.
Okay, does anyone, anything else? Is this pretty clear? Okay. I will now close this public hearing. And now I need now I call for a motion and a second on the request based upon the findings.
I move that the Planning Commission recommend the City Council to adopt the proposed changes to subsection 17.20.130 of the Canyon City Municipal Code concerning the temporary placement of mobile homes and/or construction trailers in PDD and PUD zone districts within Canyon City.
I will second that.
Okay, any further discussion? Denise, please call roll.
Commissioner Brendan Smith,
Aye.
Commissioner Harmon,
Aye.
Chairman Maloney,
Aye.
Commissioner Ledoux,
Aye.
Commissioner Randy Smith.
Aye.
Was this a one-motion dealio?
This is a one-motion deal.
Okay.
The rest of the items are informational items for you.
Okay.
It's
So then-
amazing this hasn't come up before.
What, sales trailers?
Yeah, it just really is. It's
It's been a long time since we had any
If
development.
it has come up before, and I should apologize, Catherine Sellers is obviously on the phone as our city attorney as well. I don't know that there was ever a codified solution to this, or if it was some sort of an ad hoc solution that may have been a temporary fix. We just decided, let's
A handshake.
make a permanent fix and be done with it.
Okay, so we are done with that item, correct?
Correct.
Okay, approved, or moving on.
Forwarded to council.
Forwarded to council. Let's see. I'm going to call this item number 5, even though my thing says 2. We have announcements and discussion items.
That's correct. So under 5A, just want to let you know, we have received a letter of resignation from Mike Sherrato. He has unfortunately closed on a new home that's outside the current city limits, so he submitted his resignation. That's going to be going to council on December 3rd for formal acceptance, and council is we're asking council to allow us to advertise and solicit for letters of interest from people who would like to fill that vacancy, as well as direct the city clerk to schedule an interview time with folks who submitted those letters with council. Hopefully, the goal is we'd like to be able to go to council on January 7th at their regular meeting and have them with a list of candidates and let them appoint someone.
Okay. And that's how it's always done, right?
Yes.
We don't have any
Yes.
say-so. Okay. So there's no use discussing this item.
Sense of positive.
5B, cancellation of December Planning Commission meeting, so I'm guessing we don't have any items to
We don't
discuss.
have any items going forward, and the meeting happens to fall the day after Christmas, so being able to get a quorum, I figured might be a little problematic. So after discussing it with Dina and with the city clerk, we just decided it would be best if we posted and made it known that there wasn't going to be a December Planning Commission meeting.
Okay, so everyone make note, we don't have another meeting till next year.
Which actually brings me nicely to item C.
Okay, Planning Commission calendar.
In your package, you will have the calendar of dates for Planning Commission meetings through 2019.
Did everyone look at the calendar? All good?
No issues.
No issues? Okay.
Note that next December, because of the way the calendar works, the Planning Commission meeting would actually fall on Christmas Day, so we've just decided, no,
I don't see a problem with that. I think we should have to.
Dedication.
Yeah. Just kidding.
We have to
We'll-
show our support for the community.
To be discussed in a year from now.
to be discussed a year from now.
Okay, item D, training opportunity plan development, PDD, and plan unit development.
So
Similarities in this.
this came up sort of as an offset of the conversation we were having about amending Title 17 for the construction trailers and mobile homes for sales purposes. Right now, the available inventory of lots in 4 Mile Ranch is probably, if it proceeds to be consumed at the rate it's going, I would guess by second quarter next year, we're going to be down to less than 6 lots available for development, in which case, we're probably going to begin to see some interest in further filings coming along line out there. And because these districts are so different from our standard Euclidean districts, I know I'm immersing myself in trying to figure out exactly how they work when it comes to processing new filings or any kind of an amendment that someone may want to do. And I thought, while I'm doing this, if Planning Commission wanted me to, sometime in the first quarter next year, I'd be happy to set up a training session where we could sort of brief ourselves on what the fundamentals of PDD and PUD districts are, how they function, how they work, how they get amended. And I thought, if you're interested in that, I'll be happy to set that up.
I'm interested. I always like learning.
Because I'm guessing it's probably been a long enough time since there's been a public hearing on a PUD or PDD zoned area. We could all use a little brush up and refresher.
And they're pretty sporadic, too, so yeah, I think it'd be good. We also had one meeting with city council at one point that I think it'd be good to get back onto that again.
And we plan to do that later in the year. I just thought, as a first quarter activity, this might be a good way, because I anticipate something happening, particularly at 4 Mile Ranch, before summer next year.
Would it be possible to wait for our new planning commission member before we did that training?
Oh, sure. No, I'm anticipating, I mean, if all goes to plan, council will appoint someone by January 7th, which means if we hold a special planning commission meeting, either sometime in late January or February, we will have that person on board.
Yeah, let's set it up.
Okay?
One of the things that a previous planning commission did is when they were going to do something like that, they came in an hour early, called it a work session, and, you know, that might be enough time, it may not, but just a reminder that that's something that worked well in the past.
I can query the planning commission members, but I'm guessing getting here right at 5 o'clock may prove a little challenging for some folks.
I would also be concerned that going over PUD and PDD is going to take more than an hour. So I would probably vote for something a little longer, a couple hours at least.
Is that more than an hour?
I'm guessing it would be at least an hour. At
Okay.
least an hour.
So we just plan for 2 and then, okay. All right. Well, that was fast. Anyone have anything for the good of the order? No? Meeting adjourned. Thank you.
Merry Christmas, Happy New
Oh,
Year.
yeah, Merry Christmas. See you in January.
Next year.